What up? How's everybody doing tonight? We have a fun one tonight. We're gonna rip it up, switch it up a little bit, a whole bunch. Been doing a couple 2025 Series 1 and recently, and yeah, not great success, but we have something fun and old and exciting for you tonight. So this is an Elite Update box from 1993. We got, this is crazy. So if you don't know about this, we'll talk about it as we go through it. But this box is, from my childhood, this was available at Walmart. I used to buy these. Like I said, I'll talk about it a little bit more. But let's just show you this seal. This is in great condition. Wow. Got this off eBay. So we're looking for 3.5 inch by 5 inch Elite cards. If you're familiar with Elites, or if you're not, we're gonna get you updated in it. But as you can see, we got 36 packs, 14 cards a pack. We got one big Elite card per box, and then obviously we're chasing the regular Elites. But if you've never seen this before, you don't even know that. So let's crack this open. This is a one-of-a-kind box. This is a repack, but like an official repack, because Donruss made official cards for this box. So this is kind of a crazy thing here, and this is 90s style. I'm gonna have to use a scissor here. This is 90s, as you can see. This is like 90s style plastic. Gotta get that off. But just wanted to show everybody how this was in great condition. This is exactly how it came in from Walmart in 1993. So inside this weird plastic, heavy plastic container, we have a box. I'm just going to dump it out like this. So you see that heavy plastic, the stuff that can cut you. No fun. And then we have a sealed box, sealed. And then we're gonna unseal this box. You know, I hate cutting boxes. I hate all those guys. Even if I throw them away, it just bothers me. So we're just gonna cut it nicely. We're gonna unseal this box. It's funny, no need to have a BBCE authentication on this, because there's lots of different seals. We're gonna get another one. Yep. Oh, buddies. So we have a box inside of a box, and on the bottom of this box is our Elite Update card, our big box topper. But back then they used to put them as a box under, if you can say that. So it's kind of interesting. So I think we'll try to do this quickly, but I think we're gonna do the big reveal at the end. I don't usually do this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, actually, I don't know. It's really hard to get out of there. We're gonna do it this way. If it shows up upside down, I think it's gonna show up. I don't know. Let's save it for the end. All right. Minus a little bit of it there, but well, we'll show you, because I don't like doing that. So it's a Gary Sheffield Elite Jumbo. So Gary Sheffield isn't who you want. You want Nolan Ryan or Frank Thomas usually, or Mark McGuire. Gary Sheffield's okay. Big star. Yeah, you also just really want to look at the condition. This looks very centered, which is really nice, and the corners look really nice. That's what you want. As you can see, it's interesting. They they included this in this weird sleeve, like something they'd put candy in or something. It's funny, back in 1993, they made these big cards, and then I figured they're probably like, holy cow, I don't know, what are we going to put these in? So they tossed them in these little sleeves, and put them underneath the box. So yeah, funny thing, I've never pulled a Gary Sheffield though. I've opened a whole bunch of these, or several, like probably 20 of these, and never pulled a Sheffield. So that's interesting, and that's kind of neat. But you really, we'll talk about it as we go. Let's get it. Let's dive into this box. Probably shouldn't have given that away at the beginning, but also, if you're not familiar with 1993 Donruss Series 1, it's a fun rip. There's surprising things you can pull out of here. So obviously, if you've ever opened or are familiar with early 90s Donruss, or starting in 1991, they released the Elite series, which are numbered. Oh yeah, which I bet I didn't even show the best part. Yeah, so there's Gary Sheffield. So it's numbered out of 5,000. We got 762 out of 5,000. So the regular Elites are numbered out of 10,000, and they're quite valuable. And as you can also see, we got to point out here, look at the early technology. This is 1993, and we have what now would call like a prism, or not even refractor. It's better than a refractor. It's spectacular printing technology, and that's what the regular Elites, the regular sized Elites, look just like this. They're great cards, and I just think they're great looking. So yeah, just a big fan. But a couple. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute. So those are numbered out of 5,000. The regular Elites are numbered out of 10,000, and they're really hard to pull out of here. But that's our big chase. Look at that. We got an upside down right away. We're gonna try to see what we can do. But we got a lot of fun out of here. We also have. We'll try to go quick through here though. But we also have. Donruss Diamond Kings. This is, I think we got one right there. Really good year for Diamond Kings. Roger Clemens, a little corner problem. That's too bad. But we'll separate those out here. So the Diamond Kings, if you're not familiar, there's a Frank Thomas. We'll separate out our stars there. So Diamond Kings in 1993. So Diamond Kings were a thing in all of Donruss, dating back to the early 80s. And then starting in 1992, they made them sort of a kind of a chase insert, and they made them really nice and glossy, and just nice looking cards. Same artist made them. It wasn't a big deal. It's just that they made them an insert, and they're just sticking a little bit. Made them a little bit different, and it just made them more desirable. They're good looking. They got some foil on them. They never used to have that. 92 was the first year they did that. And then they continued the set through 93. Continued the numbering system. And it's very nostalgic for people growing up then, but also they're a little rare. They're really hard to get a PSA 10, and they're quite valuable. Like this Donruss Series 1 happens to have a Griffey, and this year's Diamond Kings, which is that's kind of a key card. I believe there's also a Kirby Puckett, which is he's my favorite player of all time. I'm confident there's a Kirby Puckett. I don't believe. So he's a key player too. Roger Clemens, obviously not a Hall of Famer, but he, had his issues. But we're really looking for. They're so frustrating. We're looking for Griffey, Puckett. But honestly, there's, I believe there's like Carlos Baerga, Bip Roberts, a whole bunch of different players. If you get a PSA 10, they're valuable. There's very low pop. So like I said, I've opened a bunch of these boxes. I was lucky enough to pull a Griffey that got a 10 and got $400 for it, right around 400 for it. In fact, I think it was like 400 on the nose. Yeah, so we're like pulling out Hall of Famers. So the thing is, if you can pull really good shape Diamond Kings of almost any player, they can be real sleepers. The Griffey's obviously worth money. Even at a 9, it's worth a little bit of money, but not great money. You really want the 10s, so you want to analyze them. We'll analyze them as we get them. There's Pat Mahomes, if you're not familiar. He made news recently. So this is his rookie card's in 92. This is 93. It's Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. That's his dad. He used to play for the Twins. He recently got into a bar brawl and challenged a fight on Barstool Sports. You can check it out. It's pretty crazy. But if you have any of his rookie cards, might be kind of a little sleeper. Funny, they go for like 92. They can go for like $5 a piece pretty easily. When I was a kid, he visited my hometown of Bismarck, North Dakota, as a traveling twin, just as a rookie. And signed autographs for $5, and I met him. Kind of weird. Met Patrick Mahomes' dad in 1992 when I was 10. Yeah, there's Ricky Henderson. You know, these cards are funny, these 90s cards, especially something like this. There's Tim Salmon, the hottest rookie, almost the hottest rookie then. Nothing in there. Got the Roger Clemens, but wow, nothing. But some of these, if you look at them later, put them aside as you're opening. If you can get a 10 in some of them, it's worth sending in. I mean, the Ricky Henderson, you know, if you think you can get a 10, good. I mean, that might be worth $60, $70 in a 10. And you just got to check them all. As Jim Tomei. So, like, these are, I mean, if you look at this, Jim Tomei, for example, these are looking really good. That centering is great. They're pack fresh. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do your research. It's tough for me to even say which ones are the best. Well, I mean, the best are the best stars, but some of them are sleepers. And some of them you just take a chance on. I mean, you gotta look at your pop reports on PSA. You know, people are starting to get kind of, this is 90s, this is 93, that's 32 years ago, so there's a lot of people collecting these. They want the best pop reports, or excuse me, the best set, you know, best set in the set registry in PSA. If there's no 10s, they want a 10. Difference is you got to make sure you got a 10 or it's going to be worthless pretty much. So it's kind of an interesting game. And then you have your collectors, like I am. I collect Kirby Puckett PSA 10s. So I do have this one, but I do not have the Diamond Kings. Those are very rare. I don't think I've ever seen one come for sale. I mean, which is interesting. They're not uncommon. But boy, well, there's one. Bayerga. He's a big name back in the day, back in 93. So that's kind of interesting. That's pretty centered if you look at the centering. See those dots? You got it's pretty just first glance. It's pretty good. Like, maybe we can look up, but I don't think there's many Ghostbagger PSA 10, so I think this is a pretty, people like this set. It is a cult following. So if you get a Bayerga PSA 10, you know, I don't know that there's ever been one sold on eBay. Like that could possibly get, I mean, well, several $100s. And weirdly, like some of the over time, the 92 and 93, some of the players have gotten more in the PSA 10 than like the Griffey, which is just crazy. But more people graded the Griffey, and the pop report is extremely low on like the Viagra. Or my favorite is, I mean, Viagra was a big star back in the day, back in the 90s, but Bip Roberts he got a Diamond King, and we all knew who he was, but he's not like a big star by any means. So I don't know. I think it's crazy when his stuff goes for a lot, but and then I got to mention, as we're almost halfway through here, we really want to pull an Elite. I know we pulled the Elite Jumbo, but what we really want is to pull an Elite regular card out of these packs, which I have heard a lot. There's Kurt Schilling. We'll put it on there. I never known. Nobody knows the actual odds, but if you're familiar with it, you put it in the comments. But the people have talked anywhere from 1 in like 5 cases, which is at the time we did. There were 20 boxes in a case, all the way up to like 1 in like 1 in 20 cases, 1 in 5 cases, all the way up to 1 in 20 cases. I don't know what's accurate. It seems like 1 in 20 cases is ridiculous, but they talk about how they made a whole ton of these cards, like several million of each card at the time. So there's so many cases out there. I think 19. I don't know. I think 19. There's Tim Wakefield rookie. Not a bad one. Yeah, I don't know. The Elites they're fun to talk about. I've never pulled one. I'd love to do it. We should probably try it on the channel. We could buy a couple cases. I know it's kind of dry, but it'd be fun. The Elites were put into 1991. There's a good one. Piazza. His actual rookie was 1992 Bowman, but this is a pretty sought after card, especially in a PSA 10. I don't know that centering will get left or right, unfortunately. Great card, fresh packed pulled, but that's what you get. Left or right's a little bit off, unfortunately, but not a bad card. We'll pull it aside. A lot of these you can sell in lots. A bunch of Piazzas or early 90s Piazzas. A lot of Piazza fans. It's just that this card is so highly printed. It's tough to sell, not in a high grade. But this is pretty low. I was thinking usually we get about 4 Diamond Kings per box. So we're over halfway through. Just 2 so far, which I guess is about right. Also, as you can see, we get less Diamond Kings. So we also we get a bunch of these Spirit of the Game cards. Those are like usually one in every 6 packs. I can't believe we haven't received any. That's kind of crazy, but it's okay. Those are pretty crappy. They're inserts and they're really good photography, but we'll show you when we get one. I'm sure we'll get at least one, but we should get like 6. But usually they're all the time. But they're really bad choices. Their checklist is just terrible. This series 1 year of 93 was a great checklist year for Diamond Kings with Griffey and Puckett. and Clemens and others. There's Paul Molitor. Really bad checklist with for the spirit of the game, but we haven't seen any yet, so it's tough to talk about. It's a weird looking pack, but so yeah, trying to go thermometer. Trying to go quick through here. I know this isn't the most exciting rip, but we want to see Griffey Diamond Kings here. Let's get a PSA 10 Griffey Diamond Kings. That's what we want to look for. And yeah, tell me in the comments if there's chilling. Tell me in the comments if you remember these cards from when you were a kid. These were pretty common when I was a kid. Everyone had these, and chasing the Mike Piazzas and Tim Salmons. Took Pedro out. No, these are real. This box is terrible for inserts. Wow, really low on inserts. This is nuts. Also, just want to remind you. I guess I was going to talk about this. So yeah, so this elite box with this elite card in it. Kind of forgot about that. With this jumbo elite card. So these sold at Walmart in 1993. It was like a repack from a secondary source. So they bought boxes, I assume probably leftover boxes of 1993 Donruss Series 1. There's Budge. And repacked them with these, but Donruss made those elite jumbos specifically for this release. Numbered out of 5,000, which is pretty cool, and so they remade every card in the elite cards in that same series. So all of the same cards, and then they added 2 cards. They added Nolan Ryan, and I believe the other one they added was Dave Winfield in a Twins jersey. He had recently gotten traded. Or not, I don't know if it was traded. There's JT Snow. I got to point him out. Boy, that was one of the big hits. That would have been a big hit. Oh, man. Raw in 1993, that would have Becketted for the Beckett value. That's looking good, too. Beckett value would have been, oh, man, probably like $8, which was huge in 1993, if you can imagine. So yeah, anyway, so I used to buy these as a kid because they sold for $19.99 at Walmart, and you got a full box, which was crazy at the time. People just bought packs. No one bought boxes, and you got to open the whole box for $20. And you also got one of those elite cards. And I used to have, as a kid, tables at card shows, so I'd sell the elites and just raw. There was no grading company then. But if you got someone good, at the time, even Gary Sheffield, they're all good players. You could sell those for between 15 and, well, 30 or $40 each. So that was a great deal. So I thought, well, I'm in heaven. I was a 12-year-old kid and said, well, I'm going to buy these all day, as many as I can get, and I'm going to sell these jumbo cards, and then I can just open more cards. So I did it. Well, there's something there. Finally. Holy cow, this has been a rough box. Wow. No spirit of the game cards. What do we got here? Oh, is that a Griffey? Is that a Griffey? Boom, let's hit it. Come on. No, Cecil Fielder. Shit, that should have been a Griffey. Griffey's blue like that. Well, that's all right. Man, that looks really centered, though. Well, a little bit maybe off left to right. Shoot. They really love dinging you for the centering on these. If you can get, because, look at that. The corners look just superb. can see that. I want to make sure you see that. But look at that. That centering is just off a little bit. And they ding it. Then you get a 9. And the 9s aren't too valuable, unfortunately. Everyone wants a 10 in these. But yeah, anyway, this is a fun rip. So yeah, so I guess I also didn't mention. So yeah, I paid about what was it, $60 for this box. And they're all over the place. You can get them if you get lucky on eBay. They're pretty rare. They're really hard to find. You can buy it now for, some people have them for as much as $100 or $109. We got another one here. What do we got? It's a Diamond King. What do we got? Let's go. Come on. I don't think that's Griffey, though. No, another Cecil Fielder. Cecil Fielders all day. Wow. That centering's worse than the last one. Yeah, that's worse than the last one. Pretty similar, but worse. So you can, here, let's look at this though. So you can see that's pretty subtle, but if this one is a little bit worse, the bottom one is a little worse centering. Maybe they're pretty similar. You can see on that dot down there. I don't know. They're pretty similar, but I think they're a little off. Anyway. Yeah, we're hoping for a Griffey or a Kirby. But we got 2 Fielders. That's alright. Probably won't send those in. The 9s you can get rid of. You'd be surprised. But it just depends what bids you have. But yeah, anyway, on the elites, the dollars are all over the place. If you get a 10, they all have quite a bit of value. But some of them don't have any 10s. PSA, 0 pop. Some the highest is 9s, highest is 8s. It's crazy. But I will say it does cost $75 to get them graded for PSA for those jumbos. I was lucky enough I got them graded kind of special. That was $50, but that was like 2 years ago. I don't know if I'm sure they'll do that again at some point, but even $50 for a graded card, you gotta do pretty well. So the only one I made money on so far, although I got several left, still have them. Maybe I'll do a video on those individually, but only got 110 out of I sent in 15 of them. But it was lucky enough that was the Nolan Ryan, which sold. I was able to sell for $400. All right. Well, this is funny. So unfortunately, this is funny. I was unable to show you the most common insert in these, which is the. I'm not even going to find it back. I showed you earlier, but Spirit of the Game. But those are boring anyway, so kind of weird, but kind of fine that we didn't get any. We got 4 Diamond Kings. The Clemens might be okay. I'm going to look at that a little more. That centering isn't terrible. So I'm going to look at that. I might send that in. Although there's a corner. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And the big star of the show is the Gary Sheffield Elite numbered out of 5,000, which for 1993, that is gigantic. All right. Thanks for watching. This is a rare box. We've got more rare boxes coming, more fun stuff. Make sure to follow us. Please support us. Appreciate it. And have a good night. Okay, bye.